Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam to the world victory of Hare Krishna. Welcome back to another Bhagavad-gītā class, morning edition, with your host, me, Prahlad. Today we're doing Bhagavad-gītā 6:15. Let's get into it. Here. Perfect. Yuñjann evam sadātmānaṁ sadātmānam yogī niyata-mānasaḥ yogī niyata-mānasaḥ. Seems short for the meter. Yogī niyata-mānasaḥ śāntiṁ nirvāṇa-paramāṁ mat-saṁsthām adhigacchati yuñjann, practicing like this, evam, as mentioned above, sadā, consistently, ātmānam, body, mind, and soul, yogī, the mystic transcendentalist, niyata-mānasaḥ, regulated mind, śāntiṁ, peace, nirvāṇa-paramāṁ, cessation of material existence, mat-saṁsthām, in the spiritual sky, kingdom of God, adhigacchati, does attain. Let's go down a little bit. Translation: thus practicing control of body and mind, the activities, thus practicing control of the body, mind, and activities, the mystic transcendentalist attains to the kingdom of God, or the abode of Kṛṣṇa, by cessation of material existence. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The ultimate goal in practicing yoga is now clearly explained. Yoga practice is not meant for obtaining any kind of material facility. It is to enable the cessation of all material existence. One who seeks an improvement in health or aspires after material perfection is no yogi, according to the Bhagavad-gītā. Nor does cessation of material existence entail one's entering into the void, which is only a myth. There is no void anywhere within the creation of the Lord. Rather, the cessation of material existence enables one to enter the spiritual sky, the abode of the Lord. The abode of the Lord is also clearly described in the Bhagavad-gītā as that place where there is no need for sun, moon, nor electricity. All the planets in the spiritual kingdom are self-illuminated, like the sun in the material sky. The kingdom of God is everywhere, but the spiritual sky and the planets therefore are called paraṁ, or superior abodes. A consummate yogi who is perfect in understanding Lord Kṛṣṇa, as is clearly stated herein, mat-saṁsthām, by the Lord himself, can attain real peace and can ultimately reach his supreme abode, the Kṛṣṇa Loka, known as Goloka Vrindavan. In the Brahma Samhita, it is clearly stated, Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma buddha, that the Lord, although residing always in his abode, called Goloka, is the all-pervading Brahman and the localized Paramatma as well. But then, although residing always in his abode called Goloka, is the all-pervading Brahman and the localized Paramatma as well, by dint of his superior energies. No one can reach the spiritual sky or enter the eternal abode, Vaikuntha Goloka Vrindavan, of the Lord without proper understanding of Kṛṣṇa and his plenary expansion, Vishnu. Therefore, a person working in Kṛṣṇa consciousness is the perfect yogi because his mind is always absorbed in Kṛṣṇa's activities. Savai mana Kṛṣṇa padaravindayo. In the Vedas, also we learn tam eva vidyavatim rityam eti. One can overcome the path of birth and death only by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, perfection of the yoga system is the attainment of freedom from material existence, and not some magical jugglery or gymnastic feats to befool innocent people. It's pretty funny. Okay. Looking at the differences. Okay, in the original edition, thus practicing control of the body, mind, and activities. Thus practicing, and then in the second edition, thus practicing constant control of the body, mind, and activities. The mystic transcendentalist, his mind regulated, attains to the kingdom of God. Interesting. Thus practicing control of the body. Practicing constant control. Does it say anything here about that? No, it doesn't. What does it say here? Which is the thus practicing always controlling the body. This is transcendentalist by cessation of material. Okay. So this is one of the manuscripts that they might have used or they would have used. So yeah, this sort of, when it says thus practicing constant control, sort of going closer to the manuscript. And but it's not really needed. Thus practicing constant control and thus practicing control, sort of the same thing. And then when they've added this little, his mind regulated, the mystic transcendentalist, his mind regulated, attains to the kingdom of God. Again, not particularly needed because it also says thus practicing control of body and mind and activity. It already mentions the mind being controlled. So, yeah, I don't know about that. It's a little bit weird, but unnecessary. Here they've gone, there is no need for sun, moon, nor electricity. They've gone around the comma and changed it to or. I think, is there anything about that here? No. Yeah, it's a different change, I think. Huh. What is that here? णपरम. Okay, I see. We'll get to that. Anyway, talking about nor and or. I think nor is a word that is being sort of, it's leaving the modern, not that it's leaving, but or is, I'm not sure. Let's see. What does nor mean? used before a second or further two more alternatives to indicate that each of them is untrue and did not happen. I guess it is a negative statement because it says there is no need for sun, moon, no electricity, or electricity. I guess both of them work. Yeah, not sure why it was changed. I guess all is more simple, sort of as a thing to understand. Maybe nor might confuse people. Yeah, because I had to search it up to see if I was correct. Well, or it's pretty simple. Everyone knows what or is. Here we go. So, as it is clearly stated herein, and it has the Sanskrit by the Lord himself, and that's been changed to, as it is clearly stated herein by the Lord himself. It has the quotes. And it says, the book here follows the manuscripts, but the revised word order is less awkward. What does the manuscript say? It is herein by the Lord himself. This manuscript here has it afterwards. This one has it before. The book here follows the manuscript, but the revised word order is less awkward. So, this is clearly not following the manuscript, and it even says that. It says it's less awkward. So, he just decided to change it himself. What else? The Kṛṣṇa Loka, known as Goloka Vrindavan, has been changed to Kṛṣṇa Loka, known as Goloka Vrindavan. Okay. I'm not sure. That's another. It's one of the Sanskrit changes. The Kṛṣṇa Loka. I guess it's basically the same. They've added the Brahma Samhita quotes or the text reference. They've taken it out of brackets, which is just this sort of styling change. What else? Vaikuntha, Goloka, sky. No one can reach the spiritual sky or enter into the eternal abode, Vaikuntha, Goloka, Vrindavan. No one can reach the spiritual sky, Vaikuntha, or enter the Lord's eternal abode, Goloka, Vrindavan. I guess that here they're separating the words because here it says the spiritual sky will enter the eternal Vaikuntha, Goloka, Vrindavan. So Vaikuntha referencing the spiritual sky and the eternal abode, Goloka, Vrindavan. It's not clear that which is which. But here, enter the spiritual sky of Vaikuntha, enter the Lord's abode, Goloka Vrindavan, without the proper understanding of Kṛṣṇa and his planetary expansions. So they've just moved words, some of the words around. Does it say why? The placement of the words Vaikuntha and Goloka Vrindavan here matches what appears in manuscript 06BA. The revised version matches 06B. The revised version seems to make better sense. It is true. So they've got multiple manuscript editions that they're looking at. That's interesting. Here they've added the reference to this quote, and they've done some spacing of the Sanskrit, which I remember getting told what that is called when they do that, but I've forgotten. I'll remember it for next time. Anyway, talking about the actual purport, it's pretty clear cut and dry. After practicing, basically yoga, after going down the path of yoga, practicing control of the body, mind, and activities, the mystic transcendentalist attains to the kingdom of God. So, once you've gone down the path of yoga, once you've gone down that, basically the path of yoga is fast-tracked by Kṛṣṇa consciousness, and the path of yoga leads to the cessation of material existence, and you go back to Goloka Vrindavan. And it doesn't say here, Kṛṣṇa consciousness is the way that you get there. It says, by practicing control of the mind, body, and activities, the mystic transcendentalist attains to the kingdom of God and the cessation of material existence. So it doesn't explicitly say that, in the verse. But Prabhupada has said, therefore, a person working in Kṛṣṇa consciousness is a perfect yogi, because his mind is always absorbed in Kṛṣṇa's activities. And so, when it's implying that, when your Kṛṣṇa's activities is what controlling the body, mind, and activities is. So, when you're absorbed in Kṛṣṇa's activities, you're controlling those activities and you're focusing on Kṛṣṇa, and that's how you do it. And it also says no one can reach the spiritual sky or into the eternal abode without proper understanding of Kṛṣṇa and his planetary expansion, Vishnu. So again, in the translation, it doesn't explicitly state that you need the knowledge of Kṛṣṇa to be in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, but Prabhupada elaborates on that, and he does say that, so that's good. Oh yeah, it says here, one can overcome the path of birth and death only by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, getting the understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa, is the way to overcome birth and death. This sort of popular book, Beyond Birth and Death. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm reminded of that when it says birth and death. It's got the picture of the most editions have the picture of the baby, and then it grows older into the older man, and then eventually passes away. And sometimes it has like a little circle, a light with a circle in the middle of the chest of all of the different ages of the person, and that's indicating the soul. And so to escape that, rather than being birthed, dying, and continuing on that, understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa, easy. And it says right after that, in other words, perfection of the yoga system is the attainment of freedom from material existence. Once you're free from the material existence, that's perfection of the yoga system. Nothing else there. Not some magical jugglery or gymnastic feats to befool innocent people. What else? Yeah, it talks about the abode of the Lord is clearly described. All planets of the spiritual kingdom are self-illuminated like the sun in the material sky. The kingdom of God is everywhere, but the spiritual sky and the planets, therefore, are called paraṁ, or superior abodes. Yeah, so reaching the superior abodes, it gives a little brief description of the material abodes. Reaching that through Kṛṣṇa consciousness, escaping the cycle of birth and death. So here we go. Reaching the superior abodes by leaving the cycle of by leaving the cycle of birth and death and escaping the material existence, and doing that by perfecting the yoga practice. And to perfect the yoga practice, you need the knowledge of Kṛṣṇa, or the Supreme. And to do that, the easiest way is to be in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, doing your service, doing all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Okay. That's really all I got to say. To end us off, I'll go back to the purport. Yuñjann evam sadā ātmānam yogī niyata-mānasaḥ śāntiṁ nirvāṇa-paramāṁ mat-saṁsthām adhigacchati. I'm getting good at reading in Sanskrit. Doing it more, especially out loud. When I read the Bhagavad-gītā, I didn't read the Sanskrit out loud, so I was just, saying whatever. Thus, practicing control of the body, mind, and activities, the mystic transcendentalist attains to the kingdom of God, or the abode of Kṛṣṇa, by cessation of material existence. Just before I end off, the cessation of material existence. That sounds a little bit spooky. Cessation of existing, but it also says that does not mean entering the void. It just means leaving the material and entering the spiritual. Here we go. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching live. So a few people hop in. Thank you for watching afterwards. If you're watching afterwards, if you enjoy any of the content that we do here, give it a like, give it a share. I'll be back later this week to do some more verses. And yeah, good morning, good evening, or good night. It is a good morning for me. Got a day ahead of me. And yeah, Paraṁ Vijayate Shri Kṛṣṇa Sankirtanam, total world victory of Hare Kṛṣṇa. Evaṁ.